where the storm is now and what it's going to do when it makes landfall. As we said, it's marching up the East Coast, tens of millions of Americans in the crosshairs.
That's right. Our extreme weather team has the very latest, starting with Sam Champion, who is in Manhattan's Battery Park City, a low-lying neighborhood that's on high alert. Sam.
Yeah, I'm Bianna. Dan, good morning. You can see why. If you look right behind us, all that is New York Harbor. And where we're standing right now, this water is just about 3 feet from coming up over where we are. And if we're expecting a 4 to 10 foot storm surge, well, okay, enough said about that. Now, we'll also talk a little bit about that Amtrak and subway issue. Travel, no matter how you're thinking about traveling, roads, trains like Amtrak, they're all susceptible to trees down, power lines down, flooding and road closures like that. Even the New York City subway stations are a little concerned because, as we've just told you, if you're looking at about 3 feet of water before it tops the area here, all that water runs where? Into subways, and that's their biggest concern, that they may have to close down buses, may have to close down subways. There's a lot of weather problems and a lot of effects from the weather that will be involved in this storm. It's not just the storm surge, it's wind, it's flooding rains, and then it's the kickback. More rain will run off from wherever that heavy rain is going. So there's a lot, and even that little bit of snow that we think will hit in higher elevations as well. So with all of that, let's show you where the track of this storm is so that you're prepared for exactly where it's going. Right on track. Hurricane Center hasn't changed much at all in the last couple of updates, knowing this thing is curving up the coastline by Monday, making that turn, they believe, that left-hand turn that would take it onto the Jersey Shore, making its landfall anywhere from the Jersey Shore, central New Jersey, all the way up toward probably somewhere in Long Island. But as Ginger Z's just about to show you, and she's in Atlantic City right now, it doesn't really matter much other than the coastal water effects where this storm is going. And our Matt Gutman, I will go to Matt first, is actually on the coast in North Carolina where the strong effects, this storm breezed by where Matt is, and already there's a lot of wind and rain, and look at that, Matt standing in what looks like sea foam. Good morning, Matt.
Breeze by is kind of the right term. It's still breezing by, and that's what's so shocking about this storm. It's about 200 miles off the coast, and still we're getting all of this weather. Now, this looks like snow. This is sea foam, and that's how violent this storm is. 200 miles off. It's kicking up all of this wind and wave action and tossing all of this stuff inland. That's the big concern here. 32-foot waves, and this is just a sliver of what folks farther up north in the mid-Atlantic, where Ginger is, are going to see. Now, another thing that a lot of folks here who are accustomed to storms like this, like hurricanes, haven't seen, and that's this biting cold that is accompanying it. I'm wearing multiple layers of clothing right now. That's how cold it is. It's also so wet. So, as you said, Sam, the combination of wind, rain, all this storm surge coming in, pushing up against here, exploding, these waves exploding against the pier, it's going to make it very, very complicated, very, very messy for a lot of folks out there. Ginger?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Sam. Can't hear you
Matt.
for all the sea foam in my face.
I know you can't, Matt, but it's important for us to see that picture. And as you pointed out, that storm is 200 miles off your coastline. Look how angry that ocean is on that shoreline, and realize that we're expecting this storm to make a curve and move onshore somewhere near our Ginger Z is right now. Ginger's in Atlantic City. It may be a little north of you, Ginger, but as we're pointing out, it practically doesn't matter where this storm makes landfall. It's such a big storm with so many problems.
It is, and all of the waves anywhere coastally throughout New Jersey, up through Long Island, and bigger than that, as you've been showing, it's going to be an issue. And already starting to see the water pile up. We've even got a little bit of sea foam. I can't yet stand in it like Matt was, but coming all the way to the fencing here. Now, we've got a little barrier that's happening right before that iconic boardwalk you see, but that's what they're concerned about. If you get a 10 to 20 foot wave, and then you, on top of it, have all that water surging with the storm, this place, Atlantic City, along with all barrier islands, that's why we have a mandatory evacuation after 4 p.m. today.